Assalamu alaikum and welcome to Perspective. We'll be talking about the announcement that came from the former Prime Minister yesterday saying that the PTI will resign from assemblies as far as the KP government is concerned, as far as the Punjab Assembly is concerned. Of course, the government on the other hand has said they will move a vote of no confidence before any such move takes place. What are the ramifications of this new development? We'll be talking about that. We'll also be talking about what options the government has, legally speaking, in terms of the numbers that there are at this time and in terms of the overall political situation both in KP and Punjab. We'll be talking about that. We'll also be talking about, of course, the prevalent situation at this time, considering the goal of the government steering towards the country towards economic stability. And with this, this new move, this new what can one say, statement that has come from the former Prime Minister saying that he wants to move towards resignation. And is it a bluff? He's also made this statement but then said that he will be taking his parliamentary committee in confidence. What does this mean? One would have expected that all that would have been done before he made such a statement. All of that today on Perspective. I have with me Sadiqul Farooq, who's leader PMLN. Thank you for being with us. We will later also be joined by Imran Khan from the PTI, Hafiz Ehsan Khokhar, who is Advocate Supreme Court, and Balak Sher Khosa, who is a legal expert. Ji, Sadiqul Farooq Saab, can you hear me?
Yes, Farooq.
Sadiqul Farooq Saab, I'm sure, before this announcement came from the former Prime Minister saying that he wants to move towards resigning, his party wants to move towards resigning in both KP and Punjab, there was some hope, people were actually, and I think we also discussed this at one time, that perhaps the saner course for the PTI and his party would be to return to the parliament. Of course, this is taking a whole other direction. How do you view this statement?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I think his utmost efforts to make Long March a success was failed, and then he needed a face-safe. So tomorrow this announcement, though our demand was two, that if you want early elections, you are running two provinces, then first dissolve provincial assemblies and then make this demand. Now, still he has not announced, he has not made a final announcement. As you rightly said, first of all, he will consult parliamentary parties, and in Punjab, Parvez Ilahi also. And then if they approve, then he may go for resigning from assemblies. Resolution he has not announced. So we believe that since he is in habit of taking U-turns, so he may take a U-turn too. But if he opts for resigning from both the provincial assemblies, I think we have alternatives, so many alternatives. And
but Sadiqul Farooq Saab, in terms of, certainly I think that you're seconding me on this as far as, whether he's going to take his party in confidence and all of that, and, if he does follow suit. The point is time will be an issue, if I'm not wrong, as far as, that will be an issue for the government, because as I understand, the vote of no confidence has to be tabled before for there not to be a dissolution of assemblies. So are you looking at that timeline? Are you looking at that? Of course, Rana Saab has said that there is that option and the government will go for that.
Rana Saab is the president of Punjab chapter, the party, and interior minister also. We must have consulted party for seniors and made this announcement. We will go for all options to hold elections when the National Assembly completes its constitutional tenure.
You're adamant that the government is adamant that they will ensure that the government completes its time, its stipulated time as far as the elections are concerned.
No, I will also. I think you might have heard news about uh, change of government in Punjab.
Hmm.
So we were on it, and I think in in few days, not only no confidence motion will be moved, at the same time, we through governor can ask the chief minister Punjab to take vote of confidence, and we hope that he will not be able to seek to make it a success. So in that case
Siddiqul
also,
Farooq Saab, do you feel that you have the numbers? Because certainly you seem very confident as far as, to ensure that a vote of confidence, such a vote of confidence passes in the government's favor.
we can make it a success.
Hmm.
We can go for a coalition government, and there are so many options. I can't
With who?
disclose right now
Coalition government with who?
with PMLQ, because the actual head is Chaudhry Shujaat Hussain, who is with us. And if the PMLQ members feel that they are going to lose their seats, they will definitely join hands with us through Chaudhry Shujaat Hussain and so many other options.
So you're saying that, we've recently, of course, seen tweets by the Chief Minister Punjab and his son saying that they will stand by Imran Khan sahab. But you're saying that members of the PMLQ may decide to rally behind Chaudhry Shujaat and support your vote of confidence.
This is one option,
Scenario, okay.
but we cannot disclose our cards. We have more than one more cards, and we will play in the interest of this country. And at the same time, as we have previously offered a dialogue, Imran Khan has also admitted that a back channel dialogue was in progress. President Alvi also tried to make it. So there can be
But
efforts.
Siddiqul Farooq sahab, we've been, a lot of, there has been, from time to time, there have been rumors. Of course, we can't really say for sure. There have been one or two, as far as the president is concerned, as far as overall a move to get the former prime minister to come to the table, to engage in talks, to come to some sort of a, for there to be some sort of a mediation. And those attempts have henceforth failed. Am I right? You expect, you expect him to come tomorrow and to talk about perhaps, a new chapter of democracy, in the sense that, he will probably say that he will come back to the assemblies, or he will ask his party to come back to the assemblies. The agitational politics perhaps will take a back seat, but that doesn't happen. Yesterday that did not happen. Are you still hopeful of a dialogue with him?
MAHRUKH, his options are closed now, except resigning from assemblies. And I think those who talk sense and who can give him an advice, I think it will be advisable for him. It will be an approach of a politician and a statesman if he comes to the table and negotiates a implementable solution which leads the country towards economic stability and finally to general elections.
Siddiqul Farooq sahab, you're saying a solution, that is a workable solution, whatever we may call it, economic stability. It doesn't seem to be of much concern. I mean, of course, there is a lot of talk about early elections at this time from the PTI leadership, the first tier leadership, the second tier leadership. There is, this demand that seems to be based on what they perceive as their popularity. But the very real challenges of governance are, escaping their party leadership. and those realities, when do you think those will play a part in whatever the former Prime Minister decides for his party?
MAHRUKH, what we have been talking on, a negotiated solution of the present standoff or problems. It will be a practical and positive solution. But if Imran Khan, who has lost hopes from here and there, all hopes lost, so whatever is a solution or an option for him. But if he doesn't go for this, we have our own options. We have our own way to solve this problem, as I have already said, in the interest of country. But we are not going to put the country in trouble by holding early elections in 3 or 4 months or 5 months. No, because early elections are not in the interest of Pakistan, neither in the interest of economy. So we will go for election at proper time, inshallah. And
Siddiqul Farooq Sahab, if push comes to shove and there is no other option left, and the resignations do follow, of course the numbers in KP are different from the numbers in Punjab, and overall the situation warrants it. Is the government ready for early elections, or no, that is not an option at all?
Why early elections? Imran Khan held the government for 45 months. We want 15 months to solve the problems, especially economic problems. Pakistan was on the verge of default due to his role.
Right.
He didn't have any economic program. He himself said that he devastated the economy. So if he doesn't have program, he doesn't have team, what for we are? He feels or he believes that he may attain or achieve 2/3 majority. But we think that gradually he is losing support, and he will not only bag simple majority. Inshallah, we will be the winners. With the passage of time, with the passage of few months, you will see that the economy is put on rails, inshallah. Economic, global community and friends are coming to our assistance. Our economic policies will, inshallah, bear fruit soon. We believe, because our governance is 10 times better than Imran Khan's government. So of course, we are facing economic problem. The people are...
but certainly an early election, the turmoil of an early election is not the solution for those economic problems. Thank you for... Siddiqul Farooq Sahab, thank you for being with us. Thank you for your valuable input. We'll be taking a short break, after which we will come back and see what the PTI says as far as this announcement of their chief is concerned, and what they perceive are their chances moving forward. Please stay with us. Welcome back. We have with us Imran Khan, who's leader PTI. Thank you for being with us. Ibrahim Saab, can you hear me?
Sure, I can hear you well.
Ji, Ibrahim Saab, how do you view this this announcement that has come forward? Of course, on the one hand, firstly, on the one hand, the former Prime Minister said that he has decided that he's going to resign, that you as a party are going to resign from both the KP and the Punjab Assemblies. But then he said that he will be taking his parliamentary party into confidence. What does that mean? Is it going to be, is it something that is going to hinge on whatever's decided in the parliamentary meeting, or is it something that's already been decided, or will it be something that will be decided subject to agreement? How will it work?
I think there is a little bit of a difference between resigning from the seats or the way we did in the National Assembly, or just dissolve the assemblies. So he has to only make clear with his respective chief ministers from KP and Punjab that which way is a better way to go about it. And I think the decision has been taken that we will not be part of the system anymore under the circumstances, the way things are going. So, and Pakistan is on the verge of default because of our 90% chances of a default. And I think it's not, we don't want to be counted in the history that we had governments in 2 provinces, or for that matter 4 provinces, including GB and Azad Kashmir. And so I think principal decision has been taken. Now the things are with the Prime Minister has to take both of these to our Chief Ministers to confidence, like which way to go, either to dissolve the assemblies.
No, but Ibrahim Saab, as I understand, dissolving the assemblies is something that the Chief Ministers will are going to advise, as far as the advice will go to the governor, if I'm not wrong, and you can correct me on this, and then it will follow. But as I understand from the speech that the former Prime Minister gave out, also he said that he will take his parliamentary committee into confidence. Is that true? Is it something, because
Yes,
as far as
definitely,
the chief...
Definitely, and both the chief ministers are also part of the parliamentary party committee.
And as far as, at this time, we are, of course, he may be taking them into confidence, but as far as, we are seeing this, the tweets also, we know that CM Punjab at least has said that, the moment he is asked to do so, he will dissolve the assemblies at the former Prime Minister's asking. Is there a timeline? Is there going to be, has there been, a step? When will this step be taken, decided, or all of these things are still pending, and they will, I mean, how long do you expect? Because of course, once a vote of no confidence is tabled, or a vote of confidence is requested, you will not be able to take that step, which is some of the, that scenario also manifested itself in the National Assembly earlier on.
Yes, we do understand that, and we also have calculated all the pros and cons. And I think the ex-Prime Minister has, Imran Khan has exhausted all the possible democratic means and ways of making the concerned authorities realize that let the people of Pakistan decide about the future of Pakistan. And that can only take place once the fresh elections are held. And this is also part of the same strategy, like we have exhausted all democratic norms and means, and you are still not budging to any of the, according to us, the very legitimate demands. So we don't want to be part of the system anymore. And I think he's going to wait. And this was a message to the concerned authorities also, the people who are actually running Pakistan. Like, look, things have changed. People of Pakistan are demanding this election. And
but Ibrahim Saab, when you say that, when you ask for early elections, we are right now, the year is about to end. and we are looking at August as the time period of this tenure of this government, the legitimate tenure period as far as this government is concerned. What kind of a timeline are you looking for? I mean, there has to be a 3-month period anyway. And that 3-month, 90 days period is needed for there to be a caretaker set up. It's a question of 2 months here and there. Is that what the struggle is about? Is that is there confidence? Is it about you, the party as a whole, feeling that it might, is it under threat of losing its voter base? What is it?
No, Imran Khan has made it very clear during his speech last night that it does not really make any difference for us as a party that if the elections are held in October, November, or the elections are held in March or April. But the issue is, it's a question of our financial status. The country is going through a financial crunch at the moment. You see, when we left, there was like the GDP growth was at 6%, and now it is down to, I think, 1% or so. And at our time, when we left, the probability of default was like 5%, and now it has gone up to all the way 90%. So we are saying it's not for us. This is not like for ourselves, or we have any issue with like the elections are held sooner or later. The way they have handled, the Shahbaz Sharif government has handled the economy and the way they are running the affairs of the governance.
But Ibrahim Saab, this is a question again. My question is, it's a question of 2-month period, a 3-month period. The way that they have handled, all of those arguments will remain. Your arguments, whatever they may be, will remain, whether that 2-month period here or 2-month period there. What is the urgency? What will happen in those 2 to 3 months that you feel that early elections have to happen now?
No, it's not really 2 to 3 months. If the elections are held in March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. You see, there's a clear difference of 9 months, because if elections are to be held on time, then these assemblies will automatically be dissolved on 13th of or 12th of August.
Okay, Ibrahim Saab, let me ask you another question. As far as the overall scenario is concerned, we had Siddiqul Farooq Saab earlier on, and he was saying that as far as Punjab is concerned, they are going to go for a vote of confidence. If they go for a vote of confidence, and they are quite confident that the government will be able to sway that in their favor, which means that, the PTI will not be able to get the requisite numbers, considering they're saying that PMLQ, under the leadership of Chaudhry Shujaat Hussain, may decide to support them. In that kind of a scenario, do you think that are you willing to risk it? Are you willing to, of course, dissolution of assemblies will no longer be an option once they go in that direction?
I don't think we really need to put much weight into that, because they have been sure about running the economy, and they were sure about the reasons why they were asking and they were agitating was because they were saying that there was a lot of inflation, and now it has it has gone to 3 times higher price inflations in Pakistan, even for the basic necessities of life. Whatever they say, we don't really put much, we don't have much interest into what they're saying.
No, are you confident? I know you don't have much interest in it, but the point is, are you confident that you will be able to have the numbers once such a vote of confidence is put forward? The PMLQ and its members will stand behind it, because then again it's going to be a question of numbers. It's going to be a question of a number game again in Punjab.
You see, I have earlier explained that we are not into this game of numbers. That when we decided, the ex-Prime Minister of Pakistan decided, our chairman that we will not be part of this system. It does not matter whether it's the number game or whether we, resign or we dissolve the assemblies or whichever way. So it does not
No,
really make any difference
but
for us.
Ibrahim Saab, there at this time, I mean, there are a lot of rumors as far as defections within your own ranks.
I mean, rumors. This country has been running more on rumors than the realities. So you see, anyone who has so far left Imran Khan or Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf has, is destined for politically damaging his career. So, and it has proven it in the past couple of years. I mean, I can give you a couple of examples. The people who left and then they tried to create their own party or join some other party, but
You're saying that there are no such defections?
I
Likely.
don't think so. I don't think so. It will be a political suicide. Anyone, if he tries to do that. Besides, we are not interested in the under the present circumstances, under the present system of governance. I mean, there is no governance.
So you're saying it doesn't make any difference to you? You're saying. Okay, let me clarify this. I'm just going to clarify what you're saying. You're saying that it doesn't matter to you whether the Punjab government goes, whether the dissolution of assemblies takes place under your own, because Chaudhry Parvez Rai does this because the former Prime Minister asks him, or a vote of confidence is placed and you lose that vote of confidence. It doesn't matter at all. You don't want to be a part of the system. You don't care at this time. You just want out. Is that what you're saying?
We are trying to basically tell the people of Pakistan there is no system in place at the moment. There is a simple fascism. From all.
But Ibrahim Saab, you were also member of Parliament of National Assembly for 5 years, and that period is still continuing. Isn't it better? Let me ask this again. I know it's a generic question now, and seems to get generic every time the former Prime Minister speaks to people. The point is, you were elected for 5 years. Don't you think there's a chance you can go and talk about issues like inflation that you are mentioning here on TV today in the Parliament, and talk about measures that the government can take and move towards a better situation which you can add value in the Parliament? You don't think that there's any chance, any likelihood of that happening?
No, because we were elected for considering or thinking that the supremacy of the parliament is in place, which actually it's not, where the member of the upper house of parliament is taken out, taken out of his house at night without any warrants, and then the whole
Ibrahim
details.
Saab, but isn't it true that politics and democracy and parliamentary style of politics is also about being in the opposition, about coming up with counter proposals, about giving options to the government? It is not only about being in government, it's about also an opposition is an inherent part of democracy, inherent part of politics.
Absolutely, if there is a democracy and if there is a system in place, but if someone else is pulling the strings and supremacy of the parliament is literally decimated, how can you sit in that kind of a system and call yourself a parliamentarian?
No, but Ibrahim Saab, isn't it true that your allies were not happy? They left you, and there was a vote of no confidence, and that was successful. And the fact that we have to move on from there now.
No, the way that vote of no confidence was brought.
Right, and unfortunately, that's all the time that we have. Thank you so much for joining us, Ibrahim Saab. Thank you for your very valuable time. We're going to be taking a short break, after which we'll come back and talk to Hafiz Ehsan Khokhar Saab on what legal options the government has as far as this new statement of the former Prime Minister is concerned.
Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself.
Welcome back. Ji, Hafiz Saab, I've been speaking to Siddiqul Farooq Saab earlier on, and then Ibrahim Saab, PMLN and PTI. As far as the PMLN is concerned, they're saying that the Punjab situation is concerned, they might be able to sway the PMLQ under the leadership of original leadership of Chaudhry Shujaat and get them to vote in their favor if they go for a vote of confidence. How, legally speaking, what is the situation likely to be if that does happen?
Thank you so much. We as a Pakistani and as a student of law, we have not any inspired the legal and constitutional history since 1947. We always been in a constitutional and political crisis, and particularly from April 22, we are not making a good history as well for the future generations. This is the one aspect. The second aspect is that in parliamentary system of government, majority is the authority.
Right.
There should be certain political principles, but there should not be a political ego.
Okay.
So these are three important areas. Now come to the point. In last 7-8 months, Supreme Court of Pakistan has decided three main important cases. One is relating to the presidential reference about the casting of vote under Article 63. The second was the rulings of the Deputy Speaker, which was struck down by the Supreme Court of Pakistan. And the third was the ruling of the Deputy Speaker of the Provincial Assembly of the Punjab, and that was also struck down by the Supreme Court of Pakistan. So in view of these judgments given by the Supreme Court of Pakistan, three things are certain. One is there would not be any defection in future. Number two, anyone who would cast the vote against the majority members of the parliamentary party, his vote would not be casted. And the third would be the political party head is not the important, but the parliamentary leader is the important person. So if we talk about particularly in Punjab, so the most important thing would be the head of the parliamentary party.
But what about absentees? There's still
if we talk
abstaining
about
from voting.
No, if we talk about the vote of no confidence, if there is a vote of trust, is another issue. And if there is a vote of no confidence, the vote of no confidence, the party, the opposition who makes the vote of no confidence, he has to prove the majority against the Chief Minister or the Prime Minister. And on the other side, if the Governor or the President will say that the President or the Prime Minister or the Chief Minister will have to go the trustee. So importantly, if the parliamentary party would decide, they would all go against or in favor of the Chief Minister or the Prime Minister. So these votes will be counted. If they know not, so they will not have any impact constitutionally and legally. So in both ways, either it is on the vote of no confidence or the vote of the trust, the votes of the majority of the parties would prevail.
At this time, the situation being what it is in Punjab, the scenario, you've heard what Rana Sanaullah's statement has been. What do you envisage?
These are the political statements. These are not the constitution. If the PTI is saying that they are coming out from the provincial assemblies, what is the impact? The impact would be only that they would dissolve the assemblies.
But before dissolution, if a vote of no confidence is placed, then dissolution can't happen.
It can't happen, but if the vote of no confidence fails, the power of the Chief Minister would revive, and another 6 months, no one can move the vote of no confidence.
But do you think that it's possible that the government can go for a vote of no confidence in Punjab?
Might be, if they think that the Chief Minister of the Punjab if he is going for the dissolution for the sake of
There's nothing to
political-
prevent, okay, let's
Yeah.
simplify this. There's nothing to prevent people from other parties voting for, against their party as far as vote of no confidence is concerned in Punjab.
Yeah, they can't.
They can't.
They can't, because if the majority of the parties, they are saying that
But
this
PMLQ is an ally of the government.
Yeah, PMLQ is the ally of
PTI.
of the PTI in Punjab, and PMLQ is the ally in the federal government. So when this proposition was discussed in the Supreme Court while the deputy spoke in rulings day, so the Supreme Court has decided that the party head is not the ultimate authority, but it is the parliamentary party who decides it, and that's why all the votes counted during the process of the vote of trust on the Chief Minister Punjab. So
Right.
there is very much clear, because we've been for the last 7-8 months unprecedented legal proposition, but certain propositions have been decided by the Supreme Court of Pakistan, and the most important thing would be the Supreme Court of Pakistan has closed the doors of the defections.
So what is the way for, as far as, a change in government which is being talked about in Punjab at this time? What is the legal way forward for it?
The legal way forward is that if, because the PTI is not a majority party, it is a party of coalitions. PMLQ is there.
So PMLQ has to decide as a party.
If the no, not a party, not as a political party, but as a parliamentary party who are the members of the provincial assembly. What I am saying is, it is the judgment of the Supreme Court of Pakistan, and it is binding on all state
But you're saying they
institutions.
can decide. The PMLQ can decide to go another way
They can
legitimately.
decide, but they
But
can-
under the leadership of their parliamentary leader. That's
Under
what
the
you're
mem-
saying.
if for the sake of argument there is a vote of no, there is a resolution of the vote of no confidence, then definitely there would be two meetings held, one by the PTI and second would by the PMLQ. If the PTI decides that we will defend or contest the vote of no confidence, this is the decision of the majority of the members, and if the parliamentary party of the PMLQ decides in majority that we will defend and oppose the vote of no confidence, the decisions would be prevailed. So politically might be there are certain complications for
Right.
for 7 days, but ultimately the constitution is saying, and there is a judgment of the Supreme Court of Pakistan, would be very difficult.
Right, let me come back to you. We have with us Balik Sher Khosa, who is a legal expert. Can you hear me?
Absolutely, I can.
Gee, as we've been talking about the legal options as far as this scenario that may or may not manifest, we don't know. As far as Punjab is concerned, of course, we have a statement in the background by the former Prime Minister saying that he has decided prima facie to resign from KP. The legal scenario at this time overall, do you think that the government, what are the cards the government has in your opinion?
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Well, I think so the constitution is very clear, and the judgments laid down by the Honorable Supreme Court of Pakistan speak its volume, need not to be discussed at all, because already it has been discussed. Repetition would be waste of time, and it would be additionally what I forecast and what the Constitution Islamic Republic of Pakistan very loudly and clearly says. Now, if the former Prime Minister Imran Khan has decided to resign from the two assemblies, there are two questions. Number one, the dissolution of the assemblies. Number two, the resignation of from the assemblies.
He's
In one
talking about
situation-
dissolution, right?
Dissolution. Dissolution means then definitely the caretaker government has to take its course, and new elections are going to be held in the presence of the chief minister, which is going to be there for the era of the elections as per the constitution. So that's going to take its course. Now, and in the other scenario, if the leader of the opposition goes for the purpose of no confidence, then definitely the no confidence motion which is placed, that has to take first its motion. It has to be taken into toto by the speaker, and he has to adopt and opt for the purpose of the vote of no confidence. And in the vote of no confidence, definitely the opposition, they do not carry the vote with them. In such like situation, definitely they cannot defy from their party. So the other option is that they might not cast their vote.
Well, except we've been talking about this. I don't know if you've been listening or not. We've been talking about this with Hafiz Saab also, and overall, it seems that the PMLQ can decide, by a majority within their own parliamentary party to go in another direction. Of course, that option is open.
Absolutely. Well, if PMLQ decides that they are going to leave Imran Khan and they are going to share hands with PMLN and Pakistan People's Party, then that is a complete different scenario. So let's see what the parties, the leaders, and what they are going to decide for the nation, for the people of Pakistan who are being awaiting and who are being in a distressed situation and position. Even the finances of the country are at stake. So let's see how the table turns on, because now I feel like this is a game of chess. Whoever wants to play his cards, so he is going to move his
It's
cards.
unfortunate, considering, of course, that it has its own cost for the economy, this kind of political uncertainty. Let me come back to you, Hafiz Saab. Of course, we may call it a game of chess, we may call it a game of numbers, we may call it politics, whatever we may call it, but the point is that this kind of political uncertainty has a cost, and that's a very real cost.
We are, in a process that there is economic instability in Pakistan, there is a political instability in Pakistan, there is a high inflation in Pakistan, there is serious issues about our repayment of our loans.
Because we keep on, we talk about FDI, we talk about the dollar going down, we talk about all of those issues, and of course we've seen the government grappling with those real issues. Going to international institutions, going back and forth, we've seen what the finance minister is doing, all of those things. But the point is, how is any investment going to come? How is any of that going to happen until we stop with this this kind of political uncertainty that we are seeing, the kind of agitational politics on one hand, then that finishes, then the statements like resigning from assemblies, changing governments, all of those things have their own cost.
And we are paying the cost as a Pakistani. That you are saying that there is no consistency, the dollar and rupees parity. There is no foreign direct investment in Pakistan. There is a decline in foreign remittances. We have increased the discount rates, now it goes up to 16%. And then there is a serious problems about the imports payment. So the important thing would be that all the political parties, they should not make the ego issue at the moment. They should sit together, have a dialogue on it.
Hafiz Saab, it's about all political parties, of course, all political parties, but we are at this time only seeing that kind of attitude come from one side. We are categorically, from yesterday, a lot of people actually thought that maybe there would be a move by the former Prime Minister saying that he might consider coming back to the assemblies. But exactly the opposite has happened when he said that he wants to resign. Again,
politics is not a process to close the doors. Politics is the process to enter into the negotiations for the sake of argument. That now we are in end of the November and the constitutional term would expire in the next August. So for the next August, there is between the 7-8 months period in between. So why we are so much hurry on that the election should be held 3, 4, 5 months earlier. Now the important thing would be for all the parties, they decide that the election would be held on such and such day, might be on August or July or June, but sit together on election reform, sit together on the economic side, sit together on our main important areas for the economic stability in Pakistan, that whosoever would come in power, he would not have faced the same problems. If we keep going as we keep going since April to 2022, if we keep another 3-4 months is going, our reserves are in decline.
Right.
No one
things are going to get worse for us.
The situation is going to worse. And the most important thing would be that if in the same situation we are entering
right, we will come back. Unfortunately, we're running out of time.
Well.
Balak Sher Saab, your quick comments. Unfortunately, we're about to end because we have no time left.
I'll just comment one thing. We all have one interest, that is Pakistan. We live in Pakistan. Any political leader, political party, any political head, they all love Pakistan. There is no second thought. but we need to respect each other's boundaries, each other's feelings, each other's political background, each other's livings, and each other's parties. So if we think on this, you see, even in the world war, even in the era of war, everybody has to sit together. So I think so Imran Khan Saab has to kneel down his stubbornness, and he has to sit with the
Let's hope that happens. Thank you so much for being with us. Malik Sher Khosa Saab, thank you for joining us. Hafiz Hassan Kokar Saab, thank you for being with us today. As far as the overall situation is concerned, of course, there seems to be a consensus on the fact that it shouldn't be, politics shouldn't be about ego, it should be about national interest. And perhaps it is in national interest for the former Prime Minister now to think about sitting with the government and talking with the government to move towards political stability instead of trying to create the kind of instability that then obviously always translates into economic instability. Let's hope that we can work towards that kind of a solution instead of making politics a game, a number game, a chess, whatever we may call it. It is not that. It is a serious business of the state, and let's hope that all parties can respect that. Thank you so much for joining us today on Perspective.